So it is now my honor to introduce our Dean, Michael Liu. We all know him as Michael. Michael is a visionary leader. He's transformative, but he's also just one of the kindest, warmest guys you'll ever meet. So it is my honor to introduce Dr. Michael Liu, JMP and MPH, class of '92. Let's make some noise for Dr. Liu!
Congratulations, class of 2023 Berkeley Public Health Changemakers. Welcome to the commencement of our amazing graduating class of 2023. Now, let me start by welcoming the families and friends, spouses and partners, parents and grandparents, uncles and aunts, siblings, loved ones of our graduates. Like you, my heart is filled with pride in all that our graduates have accomplished and excitement in all that lies ahead for them. And like your graduates, I share their gratitude for all that you've done for them, all your love and support that made it possible for them to be here today. So for that reason, I'm going to ask our graduates to please stand if you can. And turn to the audience. Let's make some noise for those who've always been there for you. All right. All right, I'm going to ask our graduates to keep standing as I give thanks to our amazing staff. They've worked tirelessly over the past 2+ years under the most extraordinary of circumstances to make sure that each and every one of you succeed and thrive. From student services, to DREAM, to RISE, to all the divisional and program staff, with a special shout out to Quinn Hussey, Alicia Slater, and the 55 staff and student volunteers who worked so hard over the past month to make this day truly special for you. Our staff is the lifeblood of our community, but they don't always get the recognition they deserve. And many of them have never gotten a standing ovation before. So let's give them the biggest standing ovation ever heard in the Greek. Before you take your seat, let me just take a moment to thank our faculty. And to remember those who passed away this past year. Lee Riley, Harry Snyder, David Ragland, George Sensabaugh, and Joyce Lashoff. Our faculty are the heart and soul of Berkeley Public Health. Not only are they some of the most brilliant and influential public health scientists and practitioners in the world, they are also some of the most dedicated, most caring teachers and mentors I've ever known. They work tirelessly amidst all the disruptions and dislocation over the past few years to make sure that each and every one of you are graduating with the knowledge, the tools, the skills you need to go out and help change the world. Now, I know that in their funny robes and funny hats, they don't quite look like rock stars, but since we're in the Greek and they're on stage, let's get crazy, let's show them how much you love and appreciate them. All right, now you may be seated. I love commencement. It's one of those moments that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. You will forever remember the pomp and circumstance, the walk across the stage, this electric evening when the amazing class of 2023 is together for one last time. But the one thing that I guarantee that you won't remember is the dean's speech. Now, if you don't believe me, let me just ask the audience. Now, for those of you who've been to a commencement before, raise your hand if you remember what the dean said. That's what I thought. So I've actually been stressing out about what I'm going to say for the past few weeks, refusing to go down as yet another dean whose speech nobody remembers, determined to say something that at least some of you might actually find useful. Now, before COVID, I could just do what most public health deans did at commencement, which was to spend most of their allotted time answering the one question that many in the audience had, but were too polite to ask. What do you actually do with a public health degree? Well, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. If there's one thing that we learned from COVID, it's that the world needs more public health. In fact, your timing is impeccable because you are going into public health at a time when the world needs public health more than ever. When you think of some of the biggest problems facing the world today, when you think of some of the greatest existential threats to humanity in the 21st century, from climate change to pandemic outbreaks, from chronic diseases to social inequality. These are all problems that require public health to be front and center in driving solutions, and I can think of nothing more consequential, nothing that's going to save more lives and alleviate more sufferings in the coming decade than what together we're going to do in public health. But then I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. So I thought maybe I can just throw a bunch of unsolicited advice at you and hope that one sticks. And believe me, as a Taiwanese American parent, I'm pretty good at giving unsolicited advice. But I just wasn't sure how inspiring it would be for me to be telling you at commencement that the ratio of water to rice in a rice cooker should always be 2-to-1. Or that blue and gold is always a better look than cardinal red. So I turned to a trusted source of advice that many commencement speakers turn to, called the internet. And I Googled and I ChatGPT'd the best advice to give in a commencement speech. So it turns out that there are actually quite a lot of good advice on the internet. I like this list from Jake Tapper of CNN. Be nice to seniors, be nice to children, remember birthdays, never miss an opportunity to charge an electronic device, use two-step verification, stretch before exercising, stretch after exercising, exercise, and this is a really good one, never pay more than $200 for a pair of jeans. Great advice, but unfortunately, not mine. So I had to dig really deep within myself to find the one thing that to say that you're going to remember that one thing that's going to come back to you in moments of doubt and despair in your journey as change maker. And this is what I came up with. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't change the world. Changing the world. That's why most of you came to Berkeley Public Health in the first place. You want to learn how to make the world a better place. You want to help change the world. And over the last few years, our faculty and staff have worked really hard to give you the knowledge, the tools, the skills you need to go out and change the world, to help you grow new muscles, develop that sense of agency as a change maker in the world in the most supportive, nurturing environment. But once you leave here tomorrow, it's going to be different. Not everyone out there is going to be rooting for a change maker. There are going to be cynics and skeptics who are going to tell you that you can't change the world. There are going to be bosses and colleagues who are going to tell you to just stay in your lane. Don't rock the boat and don't make waves. And there are going to be doubters and haters who are going to harass and intimidate you because you're speaking inconvenient truths. And there are going to be dark days ahead when you feel like nothing you do matters, when you feel like just giving up on your dream for a better, healthier, and more just world. Now, in those moments of doubt and despair, I want you to remember this one thing. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't change the world, because you can and you will. Especially if you follow these 3 pieces of unsolicited advice from me. So first, don't be afraid to fail. If you want to be a change maker in the world, failure is an occupational hazard. In fact, if you're not failing enough, you're probably playing too safe. You're probably not pushing the envelope hard enough to change the system, to shake up the status quo. And the last thing I want to see is for 576 Berkeley Public Health change makers to go out there just to maintain the status quo. You know, the novelist Arundhati Roy reminds us, historically, pandemics have forced humans to break from the past and reimagine their world anew. It's a portal, a gateway from one world to the next. COVID has laid bare many of our world's deep-rooted problems, from health disparities to economic inequality, from social injustice to institutionalized racism. The last thing we need is a return to the status quo. Your generation must set the world on a different path, leaving behind, in the words of Ms. Roy, the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our data banks and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. So instead of wishing you lots of great success, I'm going to wish you lots of small failures. And when you fail, I want you to pick yourself right back up, lick your wounds, learn from your failures, try something new and better, because that's the only way we're going to learn how to change the world. Second, to quote the late Congressman John Lewis, don't be afraid to get into some good trouble. No, public health is not for the faint of heart. If you want to make the world a better place, you're going to have to fight for it. And whether you're fighting for healthcare for all, or fighting to protect reproductive rights, stop gun violence, slow climate change, save the environment, dismantle institutionalized racism, you're going to have to stand up to some powerful interests. You're going to have to speak up and speak out, even when it's hard, even when it's risky, because that's what it'll take to change the world, by getting into some good trouble, some necessary trouble. And the last advice I'll give is to don't go it alone. For the kind of problems that we're going to have to solve in public health, we're not going to solve them working in our own little silo. You're going to have to go outside your lane to build collaborative partnerships across disciplines, across agencies, across sectors, and most importantly, as our Alum of the Year, Dr. Mary Minkler, taught us, with the community. The one lesson we learned in global public health over the last 50 years is that simply parachuting into a community with our answers and our solutions, with our vaccines and our foreign aid, won't create sustainable change. If we want to change the world, we're going to have to partner with communities in co-creating solutions, in building capacity, building systems, heeding the African proverb, if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go together. Speaking of community, I want you to take a good look around this place. This, too, is your community. Your people, your classmates, your faculty, all of us here at Berkeley Public Health, including our 18,000 alums who are changing the world every day around the globe. We are your community, a community of public health innovators, change makers, and arc benders fighting the good fight every day against all odds to help bend the arc of the moral universe toward health equity, toward social justice for all. So in your hours of doubt and despair in the journey ahead, just know that you don't have to go alone. We've all been there before. We will always be here for you. So in closing, it has been an absolute honor over the past few years to serve as your dean. I wish you fail fast and fail often. I wish you get into some good trouble. And wherever you go, I wish you find a community like this one. People who will cheer you on, just like we always will. People who believe that you can and will change the world, just like we always do. And yes, please remember birthdays, change your passwords often, always use two-step verification, and never, ever forget that blue and gold is always a better look than cardinal red. Congratulations, graduates, Fiat Lux, and go Bears.